Hello dear kids, welcome back to our social science class. Do you all love to be free and without any restrictions? Well, you may love to be. But imagine that there is no rules or regulations to set a guideline for people to live in a society. Will that not create a havoc? So even though you love to be free from any restrictions, rules and regulations make our life smooth and without any chaos. Similarly, there are many rules and regulations that we follow in school, family, society and so on. What will happen if there were no rules and regulations in your school or society? Can you imagine? Why do you think rules and regulations are so important? Well, today in this chapter we shall learn about why and who makes this rule and for whom. Are you ready? So here we go. Just like the rules and regulations in your school and in your society, our society also needs, just like the rules and regulations in your school, our society also needs laws to be enforced for its smooth functioning. These laws are enforced by the government. The government is a body or agency which is responsible for taking decisions for what? For the welfare of the country and its people. So every country has its own government which governs the country and provides different facilities for its citizens. So the government takes decisions regarding the construction of roads, then canals and bridges, setting up of hospitals or providing housing and electricity to the people. And it takes actions against crimes in the society and maintains peace and order. And the modern government also handles social issues like dowry or helps the poorer sections of the society. So in other words, it works for the social welfare of the people. Got it? And the government also provides protection to the people of the country against foreign invasions. So for this purpose, it maintains the defense force, army. So it also works to maintain peace with other nations and to promote an exchange of ideas between its own country and other countries. So in case of natural calamities, do you know what is natural calamity? Yes. So in case of natural calamities such as an earthquake or a cyclone, what the government will do? It provides relief to the people, providing important services like postal, railways, banking, etc. is also an important task of the government. So the government thus need to ensure that the requirements of all the citizens of the country are fulfilled, and it acts on behalf of the people by taking important decisions and implementing these among all the people within its territory. So it also provides leadership for the country to maintain order and peace. So dear kids, can you imagine an entire school of about 2000 students being run by a principal alone and no one to assist him or her? Will the principal be able to do justice to the task entrusted to him or her, which is providing education to all the students? There would be several issues that she or he would have to solve besides teaching. So a better way to tackle the situation is to divide the task among various people answerable to him, like a vice principal, teachers, peons, bus staff, office staff and the like. Similarly, the government generally has a vast territory to look after and it has to take decisions on every possible issue. Hence, it becomes difficult for the government to operate from a single point. In India, the task of governance is divided at three levels. Remember, it is divided at three levels: the national or central level, the state level, and the local level. The highest level of government is the central level. Okay, so which relates the entire country. The next is the state level or the state level government, which covers an entire state like Karnataka or Kerala or Tamil Nadu, etc. And the local level means the government in your village, locality, town or city. The local government is also divided into two: rural government and urban government. Rural government means the government in your village, and urban government means government in your town or city. So these three levels of the government make it easy to govern a vast country like India. So now we will move to the next topic, that is decision making and participation. The primary function of the government is to make laws. Everyone who lives in the country has to abide by these laws. So the government also has the power to enforce the laws. For example, if the government makes a law prohibiting granting and receiving dowry, then the law is enforced and the offence is made punishable. So without enforcement, government decisions would hold no importance. So people also participate in this law enforcement procedure. How? If they feel that a particular law is not being followed properly, they can go to the court and claim that the law is being violated. For example, if any student is denied admission to schools on the basis of their economic background or caste, they can go to the court and raise their voice against the discrimination. The court would then take the necessary action against the school authorities. Now we shall learn about the forms of government. So we will discuss about three forms or three types of government. First is democracy, next is monarchy, and the third one is dictatorship. So let's see, the government can be of different types depending on the source from which the government derives its powers. Okay, so let's see about democracy. What is democracy? If the government derives its powers from the people, then this form of government is known as a democracy. Remember, if the government derives its powers from the people, then this form of government is known as a democracy. So in a democracy, the people choose their own leader. Elections are held in which people vote and choose their representatives. Then once elected, these representatives form the government. Then they take decisions on behalf of the people and are therefore answerable to the people for their decisions and actions. So our country, India, has a democratic form of government. And the second one is monarchy. So in a monarchy, a territory or a country is ruled by a single person, that is a king or a queen. So what is monarchy? In a monarchy, a territory or a country is ruled by a single person like a king or a queen. So such type of government was commonly found in ancient times. Okay, so this form of government was acceptable in the past. However, it still exists in some countries such as Saudi Arabia and Oman. Under this form of government, the monarch means king or the queen. So under this form of government, the monarch has the complete power to run the government and take all important decisions. He or she may consult small groups of people to arrive at a decision, but the ultimate decision making power rests with the monarch. So she or he is not answerable to the people for his or her actions or decisions. The third form of government is dictatorship. It is also called an authoritarian form of government. Dictatorship is also called an authoritarian form of government. In a dictatorship, a person or a small group of people exercise complete control over the governance of the country. There are no elections and people play no role in the governance of the country and enjoy little rights. And Adolf Hitler of Germany is an example of a dictator. So we will move to the last topic of our chapter, that is universal adult franchise. Democracy is a representative form of government where people do not participate directly in the decision making process. Instead, they choose their representatives by voting in the elections. So these representatives make decisions for the entire population. The process of voting is crucial to such representatives democracies. The process of voting is crucial to such representative democracies. A government cannot call itself democratic unless all its citizens exercise universal adult franchise. Do you know what is universal adult franchise? Universal adult franchise means that every adult has the right to vote. Every adult has the right to vote. For example, in India, every citizen who is 18 years and above has the right to vote. However, in most of the democratic nations today, there has been a long struggle for universal adult franchise. Now, every adult in the society was given the right to vote in these democracies in the early years. India is a democracy, but even for India, the struggle to achieve democracy was a long one. Do you remember? India had been under the British rule for almost 200 years. During this period, several attempts were made by Indians to participate in the governance of the country. But these attempts were not encouraged by the British. As a result, India was able to grant universal adult franchise to its citizens only after getting independence from the British rule. So, before independence, only a few people could exercise the right to vote. Generally, people with property or wealth were allowed to cast their votes. Women and people who had no property or wealth were not allowed to participate in these elections. After independence, India took measures to include these sections, that is the poor sections or the weaker sections of the society, in the election process and introduce universal adult franchise. So, dear students, let us have a recap of our chapter in the form of a mind map. So, our chapter is the government, and in this chapter we have discussed about the need for government, then levels of government, decision making and participation, and forms of government like democracy, monarchy and dictatorship, and at the end we discussed about the universal adult franchise. So let us see what is the need, why we need a government. So the government is a body or agency which is responsible for taking decisions for the welfare of the country and its people, and it works for the social welfare of the people, and it is needed to ensure that the requirement of the citizens of the country are fulfilled. The government need to ensure that the requirement of the citizens of the country are fulfilled. And what are the levels of government? So in India, the task of governance is divided at three levels, right? The national or the central level, and the second was the state and the local, and the third one was local level, right? And the highest level of government is what? The central level, which relates to the entire country. In India, the task of governance is divided at three levels: the national or central level, the state level, and the local level. So, the highest level of the government is what? The central level, and which relates to the entire country. And what about decision making and participation? A primary function, the primary function of the government is to make laws. Everyone who lives in the country has to abide by these laws, of course. And then the forms of government can be of different types depending upon the source from which the government derives its powers. So, we have learned that democracy. What is democracy? If the government derives its powers from the people, then this form of government is known as a democracy. And what about monarchy? So, in a monarchy, a territory or a country is ruled by a single person, a king or a queen. And what about dictatorship? In a dictatorship, a person or a small group of people exercise complete control over the governance of that country. And last one is universal adult franchise. Universal adult franchise means that every adult has the right to vote. India is a democracy. So, the first duty of government is to protect the powerless from the powerful. Every citizen must discharge his civic duties and responsibilities. This in itself would be a good beginning to a new India. And dear kids, much more than the waters of Ganges, minerals and spices in India, she has a precious and infinite natural resource, the minds, the determination and the potential of her people, especially of you dear children. Always remember, the ballot is stronger than bullet. So, every citizen shall use it wisely. Stay home, stay safe. Bye bye.